All right, Knights. So they just dropped a trailer of a movie we're anticipating a lot of. All kidding aside, as much as we rag on it.
We're going to have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
Because we're nerds.
It's the new Superman that's supposed to drop in July.
Yes.
And they dropped the trailer in December.
Yes.
That's my
teaser.
Segue. Yeah, a teaser. The teasers are over 2 minutes. It's not really a tease.
We've both watched this a bunch of times, but we're going to rewatch it on our iPad, have it put up for you.
And then we'll go our thoughts.
And we'll talk through it,
Yeah, we'll talk through it and thoughts and then be disturbing.
Yeah.
The start is just so confusing.
Just because he's in ice or what?
Yeah.
Superman's always in ice. You know this. The real confusing part is, why is he injured?
Well, that's what they're setting up, right? That he's beat up. But I do like that they brought back the
undies?
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. The classic.
He looks like a Mexican wrestler. I love it. Okay.
Here's what I like a lot, because we've talked about this forever.
Clark Kent.
Clark Kent. He's looking nerdy. He's looking thrown off.
Oh.
Then it goes back to him just, can he bleed?
I know.
I guess we'll find out. We found out. Thank you, Batman.
I'm curious at how else they do. Is it kryptonite, or are they coming up with something else, you know?
We'll see what James Gunn has in store.
Do you like the guitar riff of the classic?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was really good. Like that flow.
Okay, you have mixed feelings about Lois. I think she looks just like classic Lois.
I put it back. I said I didn't watch it a lot. I liked it, and I like her, the actress, a lot. It would be great. This was kind of cool, too, because it shows him humanized.
It's Hank Kent, right?
His dad is, not Hank. I'll remember in a second.
Okay. Bruce is Thomas Wayne. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
What are your, okay,
Crypto
this is a whole thing.
is here, and I told you to put it, but it's kind of like not a pretty looking dog.
Yeah. So James Gunn, Crypto doesn't look like that. James Gunn actually had that modeled after one of his own dogs.
Okay.
So, I mean, I kind of love that. I kind of hate it. Okay.
I mean, I do like the song.
The visuals look good. Let's talk about some of the things we're seeing. Oh my gosh.
This Lex I'm excited for.
Dude, this is going to be the best. Okay, mark my words right now, young men and women. I don't know what I'm saying.
Cute nerds. Knights.
Young nerds.
I like this. I like, and then they switched it. They have the more.
Here it comes. What is that haircut?
What Green Lantern is that? And then Hawk Girl out of nowhere.
And a dragon, and then an orb, a beyonder, beholder.
Now they're making his Sanctivalitude.
There's a lot going on in this trailer.
And I always forget his name.
Dude, there's a lot of characters I don't recognize. Yeah, there's so much going on. I wonder if the thought, I don't know. And I don't, okay, I have so many thoughts. Do you like how we just sort of like rambled?
We just rambled.
The thing is they're like hypercutting scene after scene after scene after scene, and I have so many thoughts.
My biggest issue, and we went over this, it's 3 movies in one, 5 movies in one.
Yeah.
And that's what's really thrown me off.
Dude. Okay, so rate the trailer. Out of 10, what are you giving it? A 7?
6. I mean, 6.5.
I'll go 7.
I did like the
People
music.
are gonna call us haters again.
We're not hating. We're just confused. Who drops a trailer 6 months before? That means the studio doesn't believe in it.
Yeah, and I'll give it an 8 actually. I'll bump it up. I'll be nice.
I did like
gotta
the
balance
song.
you out.
I like the song. Like they did the song riff. I think it's gonna be better than Superman.
I think it looks clean. Oh yeah. Will it be better than Man of Steel?
Superman, maybe not. Clark Kent, yes.
Okay, let's start with that, because that was the first thing you commented on in the video.
Because we've always said Henry Cavill's amazing, but he was no Clark Kent. You cannot make him.
Okay, here's the funny part about Clark Kent. Like, Henry Cavill just does not, like, you can't dress him up as a hipster and make him look
be dorky.
nerdy.
Yeah.
So they never even tried. They were just like, here's this sports analyst who's really good looking.
And he tries.
Whose muscles are bleeding out of his shirt.
We can't hide it.
If I saw him on the street, I'd be like, that's Superman.
Boom. That's safe.
Whereas this one, if I saw that goober, like, he does the Christopher Reeves things so well. Christopher Reeves was a genius at it.
The best. Because he's uncoordinated. He's kind of like, dorky, orky, which is what you are.
Oh, I think I may have fainted, Lois.
Help me,
Maybe, yeah.
He took Eisenberg's.
The legs.
Yeah.
He was like, instead of taking Lex notes, I'll take Clark Kent
notes. And it worked. So I'm excited for that. That's what helped me save this.
It got him the role.
I know. But I will say with the Superman, I do like this Clark Kent aspect.
Dude, it feels very much that
Jonathan,
Superman...
sorry, it's Jonathan Kent.
Oh, thank you.
Ugh, How do I not remember?
Why was I thinking Hank?
I should remember
Is
that.
Is there a Hank in the comics?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, it's Hank's the normal name. If it's in Marvel, it's probably Hank Henry, something HH related.
Who's the guy on Yellowstone, the actor? Kevin Costner? Okay, so I was...
Oh, sorry, if we're going to do Yellowstone, let me get back into it. Yellowstone.
No, I was wondering if it was like Tom Hanks. I don't know why I'm stuck.
No, it's Jonathan. I should have. It's easy to remember. But But that looked kind of weird too, because usually like they've made that character like a good farmer, big guy, and this one you can tell is sick. I'm confused. Again.
But I'm kind of excited about it, because when was the last time we had a good Jonathan Kent, honestly?
Smallville.
Okay, and you like that.
I love Smallville.
Okay, here are the 2 strengths of Smallville. The Superman family is really good, and Lex Luthor. And it looks like they hit on both those in here.
I'm excited. You know why? Was Holt? What's his name?
Nicholas Holt.
Yeah. How sadistic was he in the dystopian movie they made? Mad Max.
Pretty.
Right? He was a little psychotic, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna have a good, and that's who Lex is. He's kind of like a little crazy,
Dude.
but tamed in the right way, not like obnoxious. Like you're like something's off about this guy.
Yeah.
Eccentric, right?
Dude, that's the perfect word. He's super eccentric.
And
it's so hard to get a good Lex, where he's a vicious businessman who's eccentric, but you ride that line. Eisenberg could not ride it. He did it.
No.
It was the worst thing ever. Oh, but
Yeah. They were trying to make him a tech. It doesn't work. He's a businessman.
Yeah.
Who has ambitions,
Yes.
right? But he's eccentric, so a little off. So I'm excited because we've seen him do a little bonkers, right?
Even in the trailer, he looks
He looks a little
but it looks
unhinged.
like even when
unhinged.
even the way he's like his body language and everything. This is a business guy. This
Yeah.
is someone who's going to negotiate.
He's a billionaire who knows, like, what is it? The CEOs are always one degree away from being a serial killer or something.
Yeah.
Like he has that appeal to him.
Yeah, I mean,
So I'm excited with
just
that.
that's Batman.
Batman. Oh yeah, he's a killer.
I'm excited. I like having that Lex in a world where he could interact with Bruce Wayne and they wouldn't know that, or well, Batman would know, but
Yeah.
but
So
would Lex know?
are we assuming that they're gonna retell the whole story again? Like, what is your thoughts? Because they have shown him as the dad, like talking to his dad who's alive. So I don't know if they switched it this time because the dad dies.
I think the story's ingrained enough now. Like people are aware enough that James Gunn kind of just went, "We're gonna jump right in." Which I don't know that I.
So why were they
with.
showing that scene then of him hugging his dad?
I imagine
Unless
his
it's a
dad's
callback.
sick or something. I don't know.
Well, that's what it is. That's what makes him be
We're
a
reading
hero.
into just the actor. He could be totally fine and just getting some comfort.
Maybe the mom died this time over the dad. Maybe.
You know, one thing I always appreciated about Superman was that he wasn't born from a tragedy. I mean, Krypton blowing up, I guess, blah blah blah. But like, it was more a story of what happens when, like, salt of the earth parents raise someone to be a good person, and he has those
The
powers.
Boy Scout.
Yeah.
I mean, his
but it
dad
wasn't
dying does drive him to go.
Right, but like he was already a good man.
Yeah. It didn't like send him into a path.
Right. It's not like Bruce Wayne where it's like the catalyst is.
We know.
Yeah.
Which we said.
Have you not heard?
Yeah, we said if we see one more Batman movie with pearls hitting the floor, we're walking out of that theater.
Dude,
I see one more of
I
that,
know,
like
it's
just
like-
shot of the pearls on the floor.
We know.
We get it. So that's why I'm a little confused because he's established, right?
Yeah.
They did do on Man of Steel. They tried to do a little twist where everyone's still alive and he did his own thing.
But the dad dies for just such a dumb reason in Man of Steel.
So there's.
It's an iconic shot, but it's not
It's a great
for
meme.
good thing. Yeah.
It's one of our favorite memes. We love it meme-wise. Meme-wise,
it's-
it's as great as the McMahon one, like always crying like. "Urgh." So okay, so it's a great meme, but story-wise, I don't know. They left enough. Like,
There's
is
a
he
lot
Clark
going on.
Kent? We know obviously we can tell Lois knows who he is.
Yeah.
So they're not retelling
I don't know that
it.
I loved that either.
But are they retelling it? Like you don't need to start it from scratch.
Yeah.
So how are they going to do it?
I need to see the film.
Yeah.
At this point, because there's so much happening that I think.
Justice League.
Can James Gunn really balance all these things? Can he really? Like you see.
How did he
all
become
these
big,
characters.
right? He went from Guardians, which is an obscure Marvel movie, and he made it there. So is he trying to get kind of some obscure
Even
Justice
Guardians
League?
limited it down to what, 5 characters?
Uh-huh.
And in there, you've already seen way more than that.
Yeah, so Hawk Girl is known.
And there was one villain in
Is it Doomsday? Oh, on Guardians?
on Guardians, yeah. And in there, you've seen
Lex.
4.
Was Doomsday on there? Or
It was Lex, the dragon, the orb thing.
okay.
And
the
then
orb thing is that's just
Beholder.
his. Yeah.
I think you see Brainiac. He's like touching a
Is
robot.
that who Brainiac is?
It looks
Oh,
like Brainiac.
okay,
to
without
me. I don't
Brainiac
know.
there.
It's hard to know.
That is true. So I'm super confused what they're doing.
Which that would be 4 villains right there, and 2 of them being major. If it is
You can have Lex and someone else sometimes.
Yeah.
It works because Lex can be there. Kind of like if you're doing it didn't work. We did a la carte like Riddler and Two-Face thing, right?
Yeah.
But Lex, like he's so iconic. It's hard. Like you don't have Lex and the Joker. Like you have the Joker. Right?
Let's GB in this real quick. Give me a good, give me a bad, and give me a nerdy.
Good was the metal song.
Okay.
Bad was a lot of it. I'm like too many characters. be Justice League people.
We're gonna get hater comments.
Yeah.
I'm more excited about this. Let the record show. Johnny's,
Yeah, but
we're balancing each
but
other right
what's
now.
gonna happen after it premieres? I'm like, I actually liked it, and you're like, no, I hated it. That's
what
the true
happens.
future. Yeah.
It's like,
I'm
yeah.
gonna be like, no, you know, I actually like this and this, and you're gonna be like, no, the way they set it up at the end.
Can you believe that they did that?
Yeah, the end credit scenes when they set up the Flash movie, I was so, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna be pouty about something.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be like, it's fine.
It'll be like Star Wars all over again.
So the bad for me is they too many people going in, so it's 5 movies into one. That's really bad for me because I'm confused. The nerdy is Clark Kent being nerdy. I think that's super cool. I hope they do that
I've
right.
missed that.
Yeah.
That was the biggest flaw of Man of Steel.
And we were talking a lot about, well, even the one before that too. The one with the guy who's in the 2000 Superman.
Superman Returns.
Yeah. Like that one, like he was not Clark Kent, I don't think at all, really, in that one.
I don't think they ever show him as Clark.
Yeah, right. It was just him coming back and the bullet stopping with his eye. And that was the only scene I really remember, on that movie. So I'm excited because we've talked about this of how we haven't had a good Clark Kent forever.
Yeah.
Because even in Smallville, Clark Kent, he wasn't Clark Kent. He didn't have to be Clark Kent because he wasn't Superman until the last episode.
Yeah.
And he wasn't really Superman there. They just cut him off flying.
It looks like it's going to be a fun balance.
So I'm excited to see that. So that's my nerdy.
All right. Good for me. I like that Superman is rescuing people. So this was something someone said online that I thought was really cool. Batman fights crimes. Superman rescues people.
Okay.
I thought that was cool. I'm like, yeah, I like that. Anyway, so seeing Superman like jump in front of that explosion for the little girl, or like when the kid's holding up the flag, those are cool moments.
It's Hope. He's always been Hope.
Yeah. Bad for me, it's the same thing. I'm really, really concerned about all these characters, and there's a weird shot where like this beholder is like killing people, it looks like, whatever the orb thing in space is, and he's like making out with Lois Lane, and it's like, you know, Superman can like sense the screams and stuff, right? Like, I get it, like maybe he didn't notice at first because he's really focused, but even later, like they're like kind of holding hands looking at it.
And he's just flying with her. Yeah.
They're, like saying goodbye, and it's like, maybe you should like hurry and go and...
I know you're fast in all soups, but
like,
let's go.
People might be dying. So that for me, it's like there's a lot of characters, and I'm worried a little bit about all the characters.
Too much and is bad.
Yeah, we might be thrown into the mix of it without any sort of setup, which maybe that'll be a good thing. It's too soon to say.
6 months too soon.
Yeah. Nerdy for me. I mean, you stole mine.
But it's great though.
I know.
Because we've talked about this for years.
Having a separate Clark, because I missed so much. If you watch the old Superman, my favorite part is watching Superman hide it from Lois and be Clark Kent and be Goofy. And even like his posture and when he takes off the glasses and stuff.
Yeah. Anytime he pops up, his shoulders are back. But when he's Clark, he droops him down.
Yeah, and he's hunkering.
And he's like, oh, I don't know, Lois. Like, it's genuine. It's very genuine.
Yeah. I love it so much.
So you've always said
there's this inside joke with you and the audience. So let me give you my favorite scene from the old ones. They get mugged, and Clark catches a bullet. Does this sound familiar?
Oh, okay.
And they fall down together, and she's like, Clark, are you okay? And he's like, I must have fainted. Anyway, it's my favorite scene of the old films because afterwards, she walks off, Lois walks off, Clark looks at the bullet in his hand and smiles and then throws it away. But I love it because it's like an inside joke with the audience where
it is a little more campy.
You know what he knows.
Yeah, it's that
but
campy
no one
appeal.
else knows. And there's something about that where you play with an audience like that where I don't think we're going to get that necessarily. Not if Lois and Clark are already hooking up.
I feel like that's there, which is fine because that's already established, right?
Yeah.
In my head, he's using this gun is to catalyst the whole universe, right?
Okay.
So I'm wondering if like we're already on level 3, we have to get to 5. So he's starting at 3, which is, hey, they're established, he's here. And then I can bring in the other a la carte big characters. Right?
Let me give you a true nerdy. Lex Luthor is going to be the Lex Luthor we've ever seen on screen.
Worst? Best?
Best. Did I say worst?
No, I just didn't hear it.
Oh, okay.
I
Lex
really
Luthor is
did.
going to be the best one.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Okay.
Nicholas Hoult is going to be the best Lex Luthor ever, inclling Smallville. And I love Smallville.
Well, he said big screen, so I went off the big screen.
Okay, fine. But he's going to be the best
There's
Lex
only
of
been
all
like
time.
2 small screen ones.
That's my bold prediction. That's my nerdy. He looks phenomenal.
See, that's cool, because I was going to ask you what you predicted. I was going to predict that the end of it is going to have a better setup for the rest of the universe that we care about more. Then, kind of like, I think it was when we saw, was it the end of the first Thor, something set up everything big. So that was like the better part. I think we're going to, not the best part of the movie, but have a really cool setup.
Sometimes you cannibalize the movie by doing that. Are you worried about that?
No, because I'm not that like, sold on Superman.
Okay.
I think they do want to build a Marvel a la 15-year build-up of movie, everyone together. So they're going to have this be the Iron Man to set it up, right? But what was Iron Man? Just Iron Man.
Yeah.
One villain. That's it.
Does it feel like a Hail Mary to you?
Oh, it's a super Hail Mary.
Like
And
if this doesn't work, DC Comics is getting
Like
shut down.
as of right now as well, there's a I almost said Tim Gunn. James Gunn has that cartoon on Max, the streaming site, where it's Suicide Squad, but because they can't be human anymore, it's Monster Suicide Squad. And I'm not liking that show a lot. But this is his first like showing you what he's gonna bring to the world, even though it has nothing to do with anything, but it's just showing his idea. So a lot of it's riding on this.
I have hope because he said that he wouldn't. So I think a lot of times studio the gun. But I don't think he did. He said that he wanted to have a good script before he'd even consider anything. I think before he even took the job or would start filming. Anyway, and he said he finally had a script he really liked. So I mean, it makes me think that there's going to be a story there. Even if I don't end up liking the story, it's going to at least be there. Whereas like I look at things like Star Wars where there was no story and you can realize that there wasn't. Like at the end, Palpatine's back and we're just kind of shuffling. You know what I mean? Like if you look at the last 3 Star Wars films, they don't make sense.
No game plan.
Yeah,
They weren't succinct.
It's very clear. And it seems James Gunn has outlined a game plan.
He does come from Marvel, where you had different people, but that all brought it in.
did.
Yeah. So I'm hoping he brings that. He was part of that phase where they're like, here's A, B, and then we're all going to go to C. And they realized how to do it. Yes. So if he has control of that,
it could be good.
I'll trust it. I've always said we need DC to be as good as Marvel because competition makes it better for everybody.
Yeah.
So Knights, all in all, I'm excited because
you gave it a 7 or 6?
Let's go 7. I said 6, but
I'll go 8.
We'll go 8.
I like that it didn't spoil anything major other than Brainiac, I guess.
I guess. I mean, we know Crypto's.
I better not be Brainiac.
We don't even know. Maybe it's not. I mean, it's when a studio has 6 months, things change. Like they do change things. Like that don't. How many times did we watch something in a trailer and we were excited for that comic part?
The big one is Hulk in Infinity War where he's out and he's running. Hulk isn't even in Infinity War, really.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
At the end, he's in Wakanda and he's running towards the bad guys.
Yeah.
And that never happened.
And that was a scene. Yeah, there was another one too where there was like a really funny punchline, and then we were waiting for it in the movie, and then it didn't happen.
I know there was one in Justice League where Cyborg like hits the police car and he goes, "You should probably move," to the policeman, and then they cut it from the film. Anyway.
Yeah. So there's stuff like that. So, but luckily the trailer didn't have like a lot of dialogue, if any. But I'm hoping that we get a summer blockbuster. We didn't get one this year, really. I mean, was Deadpool in July?
Yeah.
Okay, but that was one. We normally have like 7.
And that broke a billion. We were so wrong.
Yeah, but I'm glad we were though. That's the one time I'm happy.
Dude, I really had no faith in that film, and we should do a full review of it. It was so fun.
Yeah.
I have not belly laughed in a movie in so long, and I belly laughed in that movie in the theater.
They knew what they were doing. You can tell when friends care.
Oh yeah, passion drives projects, and they are good.
And there is passion with Gunn, so I am hoping. I will be a little optimistic, even though I'm still bitter.
Yeah, this is breaking a billion, don't you think? That
this
would be
one
my
probably
bold
will.
prediction.
There's
Superman,
nothing else. It's Superman. There's a lot behind it.
If Batman vs Superman, which a lot of people hated, broke a billion, then this one for sure is too.
Yeah, it'll be fine. And then and they're keeping the Batman detective out of it. So
will he eventually enter? You think Batman?
I don't know. I think they want to do something else.
Interesting. If
they want to do something else, right?
If Batman enters the story super late, that would be really intriguing.
I mean, I think they might do a thing. Remember when Justice League, Batman was there, and that was his introduction to show in. So maybe they'll show who's there, or maybe the new Wonder Woman. Who knows what they're doing?
I hope they don't do a Batman versus Superman thing, like where the heroes are fighting. It kind of worked in Civil War, but I prefer it when it's like your heroes are teaming up.
They need to do
not fighting.
What do us who love DC love the Justice League Unlimited? They need to do that, where it's just they may butt heads and not see it, but they have an end goal together.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is what we're going to do. Here's my approach, and they kind of just do it. Or they just know Batman does his own thing.
You're so smart. You're so effing smart.
I just hope, without hope.
Knights, what do you think of the film?
Let us know. Are you excited? Are you not excited?
What do you rate it out of 10?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below, and we will catch you on the flippity flop.
Flippity flip.